Hi, I'm Mike from Rock River Power Sports. First, I want to thank you for the purchase of your new Specialized e-bike. Specialized and Rock River are hyper-focused on our customer service, and we want to make sure you have a good experience from start to finish, not only with the Specialized brand, with Rock River Power Sports, but with our whole Specialized dealership network around the country. First thing I want to make you aware of when you get your new bike is inspect the box as it comes in. Hold the driver there until you get a chance to look at it. If you notice any spots that have damage, maybe a poke in the box or a corner smash, please open the box up and look inside to determine if there's any significant damage that you can note on the air bill, because it does come with insurance. As you look inside the box, it should come packaged just like this. I want to make sure that the bike is still sitting in the center, there's no damage around the edges. It will look exactly like this, front to back. So you can start by pulling out any excess packaging that we have. And there's a couple of things in there that are just meant to be holders to hold your bike in place. There's a front wheel which goes down the side. You can pull that out and set it aside. You have the packaging in the middle and the front, which holds the bike in place. And then of course the packaging that's on the inside. We'll pull the bike out now and we're going to set it right down on the floor. And be careful because it's a little topsy-turvy at this point. Most of the tools that you need to assemble your bike are right here in this little toolkit, which is located underneath your water bottle holder. And you just pop the side up and then push the kit out the back, and it has everything in it that you need from start to finish to make sure that we can get it together. We're going to start by assembling our handlebars. So a lot of this excess packaging, again, you can pull off. It's taped. You might need a razor blade in some cases to cut some of the packaging and pull it apart. Throw it aside. We're going to unscrew the bolts that we put back in the handlebar clamps. And those again are, I believe, a size 3. Sorry, thank you there, Alexa, for the correction. We will loosen up those bolts. Take them out and be cautious that you don't lose the little washers that are on the back side. If you have a T-handle set, it might be a little bit easier to use that as well. But if you don't, this tool will suffice. Once we have the handlebars in place, we're going to take time to flip the bike over, and then we'll get the front wheel on, and we can start talking about some more of the componentry and things that we do. So when we send the bike out to you, we have completely built this already in the store, aligned your derailleur, we've aligned your brakes, we've done the motor update and the battery update on it, and then we've actually taken the bike for a little bit of ride just to make sure that everything's good before we repackage it. The last thing that we want to do is have you end up with a bike with an issue once you get it to your location. Now, keep in mind, all bikes from Rock River Power Sports do come with the full Specialized warranty, and it's good at any dealer around the country. So you can feel free to take it in with your bill of sale, and they will be happy to help you, and hopefully you'll have a great experience and find a local dealer that can service your needs. We can also take care of warranty issues at our location. So if you are in a position where you need something done quickly on a weekend, I always give everyone my cell number so that you're able to get in touch with us and we can make sure that you're handled. One of the things you do want to be cautious of when you're putting these bars on is, one, make sure the bolts are going in smooth. Don't strip them. 2, make sure that you get the bars centered, and you'll notice the little S in the middle there. A general starting point is to kind of center that S right in the middle of the bracket, and then snug these bolts up. And we'll make some adjustments on that later once we've got the bike all assembled. Also keep in mind that you want to make sure your cables are not twisted. So if you'll notice, when I took the bike up out of here, I made sure that my cables were still run the right direction and clipped together. And this does require some adjustment once in a while. As these cables break in, you might want to adjust the length forward and back, but we have preset them so that they are in the right position. So just don't twist the bars around when you're putting them on. Also make sure that you tighten these bolts up in a sequence. Don't tighten them all down at one time. There's only about 6 to 7 Newton meters worth of pressure required to hold these in place, and we want to make sure that you don't over tighten one and strip it, nor do we want to have you bottom out the clamp. So once we've got the handlebars in place, we can pull the packaging that we have off of our seat post, or our seat, and our seat post as well. And again, some of this tape may require a knife to get it cut and off there. You can use your hands to kind of break it. You can pull the protective coverings off of your handlebars and your grips. And then we're going to flip the bike right over. And once it's upside down, we can get the packaging off the front end. And I'm just going to grab our side cutters over here to do that. So we can also get the front wheel installed. So we'll cut all the packaging here, which we definitely want to make sure that it's protected on its way to you. So that's why there's a little bit of excess packaging here. Be cautious as you're cutting this, not to cut through to any of the componentry and or cables, because that can make a mess. If this all just kind of peels off, and it will then reveal your fork system and your brake. And you might want to hold on to this packaging in case you ever need to ship the bike anywhere yourself. You can reuse it, slide it on, tape it back on. That way you won't have any issues with shipping it. So the axle is put into place, and you'll notice that there is a little, what we call a splitter, but it's actually used to keep the brake pads spread apart. You're going to want to hang on to that, because if you take your front wheel off at any point to put it in your car or transport it, you want to slide this in place to keep those spread apart. The axle will just be finger tight, and we can spin that out. We put a little grease on them right out of the gate. You can grease it a little bit more if you need to make sure that it spins freely, and that's a general maintenance thing that you want to do. Front wheel is actually ready to go. There is a small little band that holds the wheel spacers in place. You can give that a cut, and then these spacers will pop out. Now again, this is something good to keep. It helps protect your rotor, and as you're wiggling it out of there, be cautious, because your spacers can pop out. There's a spacer right here, and if that pops out of the wheel, you need to take it out of the plastic cap and plug it back into the wheel. And there's one on both sides that we'll wiggle off there. And you notice that one started to come out, so I'm going to push that back in place. The wheel will only go on one way. We're going to drop it down in place and make sure that we get the rotor lined up. Slide the wheel in, and then our axle slides back through. And then I'm going to grab the size wrench to screw that in. I don't know that, oh, maybe there is. Actually, there is that size wrench in your toolkit as well. So you really have everything we need here to tighten everything down and make it work. Once it's snug, again, 6 to 7 Newton meters is about what we recommend on this, and you can buy a small torque wrench if you like to do that. Now, we will have pre-aligned